These are the stories
There is a foundation out there that helps you get back into it.
of organizations making a difference
What really limits our ability to do something is people's imagination.
and empowering others across Canada.
When I get into that sledge, I'm free, man. I'm playing hockey.
It's a great organization and it's worth supporting.
In our community.
I really like music.
It gives me something to look forward to.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I want to dance and sing.
It's something that I dream about, big stages and stuff like that.
Edmonton, Alberta is home to the Glenrose Hospital. Every day, patients attend recreational therapy as a form of rehabilitation for their illness or disabling condition. Audio Canvas is one of the options, and it has patients changing their tune on rehab.
I think it's cool that you can mix rehab with music. My name is Hudson, and I'm a patient here at the Glenrose. I'm having a lot of fun in Audio Canvas.
I'm Kim Smith. I'm the Child Life Specialist on Unit 201, and I've been at the Glenrose for 32 years.
You want to make your own drums too? Is this? That's awesome. Try that out.
I've been working with Hudson for a couple of weeks. He's fairly new to our unit. We are a pediatric rehabilitation unit, and our patients come from the Stollery. They come from active treatment, so an acute hospitalization, and we're part 2 of their journey. Part of rehabilitation is that whole day experience. So looking at everything is important from breakfast to bedtime, and we need to have different opportunities to do different activities that will be lifelong. So Audio Canvas is just one of the therapies that we have chosen for Hudson to participate in.
For a second. So you're going to hear 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can start recording.
My name is Matt, and I work in music care at the Glenrose. I've been here for a couple of years now, and I get to have a real diverse cross-section of things that I do, from working with kids to working with some of the geriatric patients, sing-alongs in different environments. So it's been a really rewarding.
It'll keep recording over and over until you get exactly what you want. And if you don't like something, remember, what do you say? I don't like it, and I'll just redo it, right?
No, how about I say cheese?
Okay, cheese means you don't like it? That's the code word? It's a good code word. All right.
So it's tactile. If they can just begin to touch it. Little hand drums, electronic hand drums and things where you can push things with your fingers, and right away you get a response from the sound. So it's really important that a patient right away has that reaction. So you'll experience that right away. You'll hear sound from your fingertips instantly.
We're going to try that one, okay? Ready?
Okay, ready?
Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it works on a few things. So looking at that holistic planning, so there are components of gross motor and fine motor. We're looking at cognition, we're looking at language, we're looking at all that developmental kinds of things, and then we're looking at that social part. So self-esteem, we're feeling good, we're feeling accomplished, we're feeling great about something that we've done. They're able to celebrate something that they've completed.
Want bass? Do you want the fun voices, or should we wait till those later? Do you want some piano?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. You're very polite.
We want to make things fun for kids. So playing the organ or playing the piano or playing the keyboard, you're using fine motor and making your fingers go. So it really is a therapeutic intervention, but it's secondary to the fun and to using the music in order to feel successful. So feeling good about what you're doing, feeling good about who you are, feeling good about how your extremities are working, especially when you've had an injury or a life-changing event.
I got H1N1 flu. I got bladder pneumonia. I was on ECMO for 19 days. And my body went into full sepsis shock. And I got an amputation below the knee. And I had my breathing tube in for 26 days. I'm learning how to walk again. I'm weightlifting, leg presses, and bench presses.
Hold it down a little bit longer.
Get your hands up. Get up.
Yeah. Yo.
Get your hands up.
Yep.
Get your hands up.
Yep.
Get your
Like rhythm. Look at your rhythm. Do that again.
Get
That's
your
awesome.
hands up.
Yep. Get your hands up. Yep.
Get your hands up.
Yep.
Get your hands up.
Yep. That's awesome, bud.
I was just expecting a regular piano, and we're just gonna play the regular piano. There it was. We could change the sounds, we could change the voices. It was cool.
So this one is, let me just hear this one more time.
Get your hands up.
Yep. Cool. So this is a good one. That's a good note. That's a good note. That's a good note. Any of the black notes are good notes.
I can switch everything up when I want to. I can mix everything in together. It's just really fun because I'm actually creating my own song, which I've never done before.
Hudson should be beside the word courageous in the dictionary. That kid is amazing. What I see in him is just the willingness, the place he's willing to go, because he knows what's possible when his hands touch the keyboard. And he really has to struggle, and he does it so well with his hands, getting to the notes he wants to hear. But I think for that creates a positive environment for him. He just really comes alive, and he's a fun kid, all around. And I think hopefully that carries over into the different types of rehab that he knows is really important while he's here to be involved in, and he enjoys so much of that. That spot. Is that okay, or is that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Music, I think, first of all, is a distraction. Music's a distraction in a couple of ways. People are distracted by music all day without knowing it. In your car, a person drives up beside you, you're walking through a mall, you're in a restaurant. Music that you didn't ask for is distracting you all the time. Music becomes this place where they can step outside themselves and have this experience of creation. Whenever you can create, and that's like the art program too, when they're doing painting or creating, they'll create birdhouses, different things like that. They're moving outside of themselves, and the focus, so that's a good distraction now. And so I think that that will allow them their mood changes, their affect changes. Often that's a comment we'll get is, wow, they want to go to their therapies now. We've had a lot of cases where sometimes a rec therapist will come and say, hey, they're going to their stuff. They've had some music and their moods change, and they're better in the day. So their disposition improves to the point where they may be able to move into some other things, which is what we want. We want to make sure they're in the different therapies and doing the different exercises and different programs that are going to be really effectual in their rehab.
My name is Katie Saridiak, and I'm a recreation therapist at the Glenrose Rehab Hospital. When Matt brings his piano onto a unit, it kind of just changes the whole atmosphere of the unit. So whether there's one patient there or there's 10 people there, it's not only the patients that it's changing, but it's also changing the staff. So everyone's pretty stressed. They're working hard to achieve their goals to get out of the hospital. And it's just nice to have that kind of break where staff and patients can interact with music. So it's been really incredible to see the connections that people are making over music with Matt's presence. I think that everyone's kind of putting more of a focus on mental health as we go through life here. And I think that there are a lot of physical barriers, and it's easy to put a number to those. It's easy to assess someone's physical functioning, but not as easy to assess someone's emotional or mental health. So I think by using music, even for an hour, our patients are saying like, oh, it just felt good to kind of be outside of myself, be outside of what's happening, and just be present in the moment and be with music as kind of a release and an outlet.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
My name is Matt, and I work in music care at the Glenrose. We use it's called a MIDI keyboard or a MIDI controller. This MIDI controller allows the patient to play access any of the sounds that exist on the program, and often we'll color the keys with erasable marker so they have some sort of key verification points on the songs. It makes it easy. One of the things we want to do is make sure that the patient's able to have success with the sound right away. So if they can have some guides, some visual guides, and some patients come, they've had some previous musical experience, and then they're able to say, well, I want to play in this key or that key. But if they don't, We want to make sure that they can have some success right away. And a lot of times you'll find a patient will come and they'll say, well, I've never played the piano before. That's the greatest, probably the greatest opportunity for me, because then I can say, well, great, let's try this and play a few notes, and all of a sudden they've got something.
My name is Zachary, and I'm an inpatient at the Glenrose. My DJ name is Six Shrooms. It's based off of two of my favorite artists.
Oh yeah, Six Shrooms.
Pretty good.
Yourself? You're doing that? All right. So, ready to do some music? Did you hear your song this week?
Yes.
Pam sent it to you?
Yep.
Pam finally sent it to you.
I've been in the hospital for a while now, so I've kind of lost track of time.
You want to redo the piano?
Redo the beginning. I was thinking about like redoing the beginning because it sounds a little rough to me.
Do you want this keyboard or that keyboard?
We'll do this one.
Okay. You want to come in a little bit more?
Yeah, sure.
And make sure you all sit up there. Zach is a DJ, and Zach is no longer able to maybe DJ in the same environments that he was. So this has allowed him to use those music skills, and when you watch him in the session, you can hear the terminology he uses, the sounds that he picks, the ideas, and Zach's a perfectionist. He's kind of like me, we're pretty fussy. So Zach wants to get it right, so he'll play over and over again, but at the end of the day, it lets him feel like he's included in that music creation community, that just because of his disease, that didn't have to end. Because a disease will challenge you at so many different levels, but that doesn't change the fact that the music's inside you, and someone's had a stroke, the music's still inside you. Someone becomes visually impaired, the music's still inside you. Someone has had an amputation, the music's still inside you. So let's figure out how to get that music out, because it doesn't change that. So Zach's a great example of music community. Let's keep that going for him, and yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's got all that terminology and that energy. So let's listen through to some of these guitar sounds. See what you think. We can tweak them as we go.
Okay.
Okay, hit that one. Hit some black keys on that one. Sounds right.
Like that, yeah.
Okay, let's throw some delay on it too. Okay. Delay gives that ding, 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 ding kind of effect when you hit it. You like that? Let's try this guy. Try hit that. Take your hand off. So this one you can hit short. Give that kind of thing. How about this one? You like that?
Yeah. I have something called Friedreich's ataxia, and it's a neuromuscular disorder. It is very similar to MS. And progressively gets worse, and I am being taught the proper ways to manage my life and be as healthy as I possibly can. So. We should probably
take her again.
Lower the volume a bit, just so that it's not overpowering.
Okay. You want to keep it or you want to try it again?
I'll keep it.
Okay.
Let's see what it sounds like with the adjusted volume.
See, I like your producing because you hear that stuff, right?
To come to rehab, at first it kind of blew to hear that I'd be in the hospital for a longer period of time, but then kind of the audio canvas program has really soothed things out for me and maybe kind of more acceptance of everything that's going on here, and I don't feel as stressed out.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
My name is Zachary, and I'm an inpatient at the Glenrose.
It's like throwing too much stuff on the plate. If you got, there we go. It's a Hollywood producer. That producer keeps calling us, and I'm tired of I'm tired of that producer calling us. You tell him to lay off. Listen, Snoop Dogg, we can't talk right now.
So you want to think about, like, if you think about it on a plate, like dinner's on a plate, you got some salad, you got your steak, you got potatoes, everything's separate. And so think of it like that musically too. You've got your guitar here, and put your piano here so you can hear both of them, right? So if you find that the piano's in too much of that mid-range, then just move it up. Move it up higher. And it's got that nice delay.
When I was asked to join musical therapy, it seemed to fit perfectly with me. And I was kind of eager to test it out because I didn't really know anything about musical therapy or whatever. I just did music because I enjoyed it. So, and then I thought this would fit, make me happy, and make my stay here a little bit less strenuous. Then you just kill it.
I know, I just wrapped it.
When I first was diagnosed, I thought I wouldn't be able to follow my dreams in music, and but then I just adapted new ways to do it, and I felt pretty good with it. It brought me to a darker place that I didn't really like being in, so I kind of more focused on producing music, things that I found enjoyable, and then those things kind of just fell to the wayside. So I don't really have those thoughts anymore, so I just can do what I like doing. That's it. Music was something that I thoroughly enjoyed doing, so. And it killed time, and it seemed when I started doing it, my frustrations kind of just left and made me kind of feel at ease with everything. So I just kind of continued doing music, and it's a big part of me now.
Beautiful. Ready? Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is Katie Saridiak, and I'm a recreation therapist at the Glenrose Rehab Hospital. Recreation therapy is not just focusing on physical, but also emotional, mental well-being, and social aspects as well. The feedback that we've gotten from all of our patients is, when can we do this again? Our biggest hope is that patients that work with Matt in the Audio Canvas program can continue music in some way in the community and within their own homes. So Matt and the patients really try and work on, how can I be independent with music? How can I continue this for when I leave? How can this be a meaningful activity for me to participate in within my own home or with my friends and family and things like that? So really, when people ask to meet with Matt again, they're working towards creating a music piece, but also trying to figure out how they can continue this in the community. So I mean, I think with them engaging in something that they're interested and motivated to participate in, it also motivates and kind of gives them a better outlook on all aspects of their rehab. So knowing that they're meeting Matt for an hour audio canvas session kind of puts them in a better frame of mind and keeps them motivated to participate and get stronger, so that they can go home and they can seek out musical opportunities or go out with friends to participate in music in other ways.
Everyone's got this ability to share music with people, and it's, I think when they first come, there's apprehension, and then depends what we're doing. We do all kinds of different things, music games, trivia sing-alongs, and then all of a sudden, someone takes out a harmonica, and you didn't think he was going to play, and there he goes. Someone begins spontaneously singing, and in the one-on-one sessions, again, there's that apprehension. I can't play the piano, I don't know what I'm doing. I say, great, and I color on the keys or whatever we need to do for them to start playing. And as soon as they hear the song, the sounds that come out, they're startled. They're like, I did that? I said, yeah. Now there's some musical tricks that we do. There's certain keys that we play in that I know they're gonna have better success in. But just watching them come through that process and see the result of the satisfaction that happens when they have created something is just, I mean, that's it. That's the reward, right?
They're like, oh yeah, that sounds good, or...
Well, I like what you're... That's nice, because the ear starts to hear, then gets used to that. It's like Coolio, right? That thing, it's the same thing, right? That's his deal is.
Yeah.
Coolio's 1990s, right? That's kind of dating me a little bit. But that's the same kind of thing, so it's a little motif.
Audio Canvas has really helped in the sense of just, it gives me something to look forward to, where when I'm doing like the rehab program stuff, I'm kind of almost focusing on that, but I'm also focusing on what's gonna happen this week when I go and see Matt and we just around with music.
I think music therapy is important for our patients in that they have opportunity to do something creative, they have opportunity to do some self-expression, they have opportunity to be successful with not a lot of work. And not to make slight of not a lot of work, because I think they work really hard to listen to sounds and to put sounds together to create something, but it isn't as taxing when you have to work really hard in physio with your large motor muscles, so relearning to walk. I think this just gives opportunity to make a well-rounded therapeutic intervention.
Before now, I was just learning. I was bad, I wasn't taking lessons. I was just trying to get better on my own. And then I haven't been playing piano for 4 months, and then there I am playing piano.
I think it's important that music therapy exists here at the Glenrose because a lot of times we are focusing on the physical functioning of the patients, and we're trying to overcome barriers as to how to get them home, how can they be independent, and I think it's just really important to have that opportunity to sit down, focus on what motivates you, on what your interests are, and what's going to help your quality of life in the long run.
I guess what I think is why didn't I do this 25 years ago? I mean, I knew this. I knew it was affecting people like this, and it took me 2008 is the first time I started working in a music care setting. You want a longer or shorter? It's a good there.
That's perfect.
Music's incredibly powerful. It's like an audio drug. That's why it's used at hockey games and in shopping malls to make you buy things, in restaurants to make you stay longer. Musicians know that, producers know that. And I tell you, when they listen to that song again, because we email it to them, in 2 years, if they're having those days where they think, I can't do anything, listen to the song you made in 30 minutes. Listen to that song you made 2 years ago, and tell me you don't have music inside you.
Director Tamara Canoe. Director of Photography Tamara Canoe. Sound recordist Michael Olson. Editor Tamara Canoe. Expand Your Horizon by Zach Anthony. Special thanks to Alberta Health Services. Integrated Describe Video Specialist Simone Cupid. Regional Content Specialist Jim Crisco. Graphics Andrew Antonello. Coordinating Producer Jennifer Johnson. Director Production Kara Nye. Director Programming Brian Perdue. Vice President Programming and Production John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2019 Accessible Media Inc.